Well, welcome to week 4. Here we go. I'm so glad you're still with us. You're still participating. Hopefully, you're seeing great results. Yeah. It doesn't come without effort, does it? It doesn't come without some sacrifice. So, I'm with you. I'm with you on this. We have another challenging lesson today. You might be like, "Oh, Tom, they've all been challenging," and true. And last week we talked about the backpack and what are we putting in our backpack, what's in our circle of responsibility, and hopefully that's been a challenge for you, and hopefully you're starting to pay attention to what you're putting in there. That's my hope. Good things happen when you learn to do that. But it's not easy. All right, this week, excuse me. You ready? Let's do this. We want to talk about how well we stay present. And I know people talk a lot about, oh, I live very present and it's important to live present. And I totally agree, but it's really hard. I thought I was good at it. And then the other day, my wife and I were talking to each other and we were like, hey, if I feel like you're going into the future, can I ask you, hey, where's your mind right now? Where's your brain right now? I was like, sure. And so we reciprocated that. So when I feel like Barb's going someplace, I can say, hey, where's your mind right now? And it's a way of recalibrating ourselves. And the painful thing was, I'm not nearly as good as I thought I was. So this is the way it looks to me. This purple line here will represent our past. Our past. And then here in the center, this will be our present. And then green, this represents our future. So we have past, we have present, and we have future. I'll put present down too. Past, present, future. Purple is the past, green is the future. And so what my wife would ask me is, where's your brain right now? And really, you have 3 choices. Past, present, or future. That's it. And what I found is my tendency is to go into the future. I tend to be more future geared, and I would say not in a healthy way, but my mind goes to the future more than it goes into the past. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So when I think about going into the future, it tends to look like the question of what if. What if my daughter doesn't get into college? What if my business doesn't succeed? What if no one reads my book? What if no one shows up for Thanksgiving? What if? And then our brains just start compounding it, and we start getting into what I call like circular thinking or rumination, where it's like we aren't even in a healthy place. We are just in like a circular pattern, like a gerbil on a hamster wheel. What if a gerbil on a hamster wheel? It should be like a gerbil on a gerbil wheel or a hamster on a hamster wheel. But I said gerbil on a hamster wheel. All right, well, so what if? And so what does this look like? Well, it looks like rumination, circular thinking. It looks like worry. And then eventually, these things will become a version of anxiety. And anxiety is not freedom. Anxiety is a form of bondage. So when I'm in the future, I tend to ask myself, what if? Then I go to rumination, worry, tends me to anxiety. Anxiety sends me into bad places. And then when I think about the past, the question we ask is, if only. If only I hadn't dated that girl. If only I hadn't left this job. If only I hadn't married this person. If only I hadn't, whatever it is, right? And on it goes. If only, if only, if only. So, if only tends to lead to guilt. It can lead to like a place of despair. Which leads to depression. And sadly, depression is also a form of bondage. So the past, if only, the future, what if? So how do I live present? How do I live the life I really want to live? How do I live wholeheartedly? And to me, it's coming to this place of living present. And again, I'm not nearly as good at living present as I want to. But being present is the only place where we really find connection. Can I connect with Barb if she's in the past and I'm in the present? Nope. Can I connect with Barb if I'm in the future and she's in the present? Nope. I would even say, can I connect with God if I'm in the past? Nope. So our only place where we can connect, the only place where we can have these quality interactions, where we can really relate, where we can experience intimacy, is if both people make a choice of saying, I'm going to stay present. I'm going to stay here, and I'm not going to the future. I'm going to stay here, and I'm not going to the past. So sometimes people will say, well, Tom, I don't like all the decisions I've made, and I've done some bad things, and I've hurt some people. And I go, yep, I'm sure you have. And we all have. So what do we do with that? What do we do with the guilt associated with that? And to me, there's this thing called forgiveness, where I'll take the wrongs from the past and I'll bring them to the present, and I'll ask for forgiveness. And then if I'm in the future and I'm like, what's going to happen? What if? And I know that not a moment of your life can be added by worrying. And we talked about circle of responsibility. Like, we can draw the circle of responsibility here too and say, I can pay attention to what I think, feel, say, and do. So again, if there's something in the future that's bothering me, the one thing I can do is say, is there anything I can bring into my circle? Well, I'm really worried about my son and his drinking, hypothetically. And then, is there anything I can do about that? Because I'm ruminating on it, I'm worrying about it. Is there anything I can bring into my circle of responsibility? And then I can say, yeah, there is something I can do. I can ask him. I can say, hey, son, would it be okay if I shared some of my experiences when I used to drink and the way that impacted my life? Would you be open to that? And if he says, yeah, Dad, I'll hear that. Great. I've brought something from the future into my circle of responsibility. And if he says, no, I'm not interested, I don't go through that door. If they don't open the door, I don't go through it. Don't bust down the door that's not been opened to. And so in that, there's this thing of, is there anything in the past that I can bring into the present? That's a little more difficult, But to me, I'm going, is there anything from the past I can bring into my circle of responsibility and become present? Because if there's something in the future and I bring it and I make it present, then I'm like, well, that's a safe place for me to be. But it's when I'm in that place of rumination and worry that I get myself in trouble. And I waste time and I pay my attention to things I shouldn't pay attention to. And so when I think about this, where can I experience joy? Where can I experience authentic connection? Where can I experience fire in my spiritual life? And to me, this is all a result of learning to live present. And in the future, I'm told, worrying won't add a thing to my life, so I'm just going to come. Is there anything I can bring into the present? Simple enough, right? This visual for me is helpful, and it helps me to see where I am, but it still takes consistent work to stop dwelling in the past or worrying about the future. But if you think about it, where is the only place where I can experience freedom? Freedom. Oh, is it in the screen? Barely. So freedom is found when I learn to live present. So as you go through this week, here's the challenge. The challenge is to stop yourself at the end of each night, and I want you to journal for about 5 minutes and talk about, when did I do well in staying present? What were the things that caused me to go to the past? What were the things that caused me to go to the future? So that's going to be your introspective journaling for 6 days this week. I don't want to be legalistic or prescriptive. My hope would be you would do it for at least 5 minutes. Here are the things that kept me from being present. Here's what was happening. Here's why I left being present with other people when I went on a journey elsewhere. So this is what I would say is a challenging way to relook at how I want to live. But I will promise you, the more you choose to live present, the better your life will be. The more joy you'll experience, the more freedom you'll experience, and you will break those bonds of captivity that we can have either towards the future or the past. That's all I got for you. Do well in your journaling, and I'll look forward to seeing your feedback. Have a great one.